What's up, Buck fans? Welcome back to another RBT live stream. Today it's a fun victory Monday. Bucs win 26-14 over the Minnesota Vikings. I hope we got all of you guys in the chat. Let us know if you can hear us coming in well, if you actually can see us, if we're actually live or not. Last week we had a little hiccup, but it seems like everything's working right now. Other than that, I'm Mark Ramirez. This is Michael Pless, as always. Glad to have you aboard for the show. But Pless, tell me, how did you like this game? What did you see? Was there any changes since the bye week? Did you see anything good?
First of all, I mean, it feels great to be 8-5. That's awesome. We haven't had that since 2016. It is a victory Monday, so that's really awesome. And thank you, Dan Bailey. I mean, that pretty much sums up the game, right? I mean, it was a nice Buccaneers win. You know, they did what they had to win the game. They ran the football, which was shocking. They gave Rojo the football 18 times. He got 80 yards and a touchdown. So that's kind of the formula we want to see. You know, Tom Brady with less passing attempts than rushing attempts. It's usually a winning concept. And, played mistake-free football, if I can get that out.
It was a mistake, though.
Yeah, it was a mistake. But no, it was a really good game by the Buccaneers. I thought both sides did enough to do what they had to do and came up with clutch plays to seal the game. And that's all you can ask for. And now we move on to Atlanta and hopefully to do the same thing.
Yeah, and just bringing up the actual rushes and attempts. I mean, keeping this as balanced as possible, that's a beautiful thing. Just 18 carries for Rojo. Hell, I would want even more. But like you said, more rushing attempts than passing attempts. That's just keeping Brady off the ground, getting it into another playmaker's hands. I love that. But before we jump over to Atlanta, let's talk a little bit more about this game.
Yeah.
But definitely. So big takes I took away. Still, the execution early on is still off. I don't understand why. The Gronk missed pass. I mean, that Gronk's open immediately. There was no safety on that side of the field. If there was anyone, it was middle deep and nowhere near Gronk. And then I've been putting some videos up on Twitter. Those of you who follow us on Twitter, you guys have seen it. Just the wide open guys with Godwin and Scotty Miller running down literally the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. Immediately on the snap, safety shades over towards Evans, and that's the only guy that Tom Brady's looking at. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Is this a mirage? Like, what is going on? He pumped twice to Evans on that play. And still, then he goes, oh, shit. Someone was mentioning how, well, maybe it's because he was off his base. He had all the time in the world to throw. Mm-hmm. And I think someone else made a good point. Maybe he was just, holy crap, do I go to Scotty or do I go to Godwin? Because they were both wide the hell open. So I don't get what the lack of execution early is. I just don't get that. The biggest thing I did love seeing, LaShawn McCoy. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you'll love that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Why
something.
Is that?
Well, I mean, you get 28 out of the game. You know, that's a good start. And then, you know, I think, and LaShawn is something I called actually on the Pewtercast show that I was on Friday. I was like, he's going to have a good game. He's going to get in there. It seemed like he was going to be the guy coming in as they, you know, adjust this running back rotation. And he did his job. He pass protected well. He, ran the football well and caught it, you know, so he did everything that you want from a guy that is, you know, pretty much your third down back and, you know, subbing in there for Rojo. Rojo had a fractured pinky, and that's why McCoy started the second half of the game, you know, on that drive. And that was a beautiful drive. You know, that's how you want to execute it. And they went up. I think they went on and scored on that drive. So, yeah, that is definitely a good sign. You see McCoy in there.
Absolutely. And then this is funny too. It was so nice to see the curse finally jumped on the other team's kicker. You were saying this before the live stream. Thank God for Dan Bailey because I mean, drive killers, momentum killers. I mean, we've felt that as Buck fans, and I'm like, oh, he won't miss another one. And then they set him up for shit on like a 54-yarder when he hasn't made an extra point or a short kick. I'm like,
yeah,
they're ruining him even worse. So I was not mad about that. I mean, we still only won by 12. I kind of said this. I don't know if this was in the live stream or in the bye week talk with Brent Allen, but I mentioned how I thought this game was going to be like the Panthers game. It's close early, which it was. Actually, the Vikings pretty much dominated time of possession, dominated the ball overall in possession, and then we just started winning based off of talent. I mean,
Yeah.
Scotty Miller's speed, Gronkowski's size, Rojo's running ability. They learn to run the ball more than to pass, and then they get away from it. So some of the things I saw were good. I mean, I hope I joked around with it with John Leiter during the game. I'm like, maybe that should be the first question to BA or not BA Byron Leftwich. Does play action work? Because every time we ran it, it worked. The deep pass to Mike Evans, play action.
Right.
Touchdown to Gronk, play action. The first play action pass of the game was a 25-yard gain to Mike Evans. You think it's working?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the Bucs offense didn't really have the ball that much. I mean, the Vikings pretty much controlled the clock, like you said. They had a lot of long drives, and when you miss those field goals, that's killer. Because it's like a turnover, and you get nothing out of that result or that drive. So those were big, and it played a key role in the game. But play action definitely does work, like you were saying earlier, and I think the early drives, again, just a couple misses here and there. Just got to execute a little bit better. I thought the play design and the play calls were good for most of the game, which was nice to see. The flow was good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, the flow for the most part was pretty good. I think we ended up scoring on like the last 5 or 6 drives that we had, so that was a good sign. So it was getting better throughout the game. But yeah, we still haven't played that complete football game yet, and that's something that we want to see going forward, and hopefully we can get that started, with the last 3 games here coming up. But I thought for the most part, it was a really good game by all parties involved. I thought defensively, the pass rush came alive. That was nice to see. So JPP making the big play at the end of the game. So everyone really kind of stepped up in their own way, whether it be offense, defense, or special teams. I mean, big kick by our kicker, get us up to 26. So that was a big kick. That was a pressure kick, and he made it right down the middle. So very important.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on point all season, and it's weird to say. Like, I almost don't want to say it for fear, but I don't believe in that crap. But for kicker wise, I don't know. It's crazy. Like.
Yep.
The monkey off your back kind of thing. Well, before I talk about the defense, because there's one guy I want to talk about in particular. Let's keep talking some of these Bucs offensive takes. Raymond said, best pregame news was seeing Fournette listed as inactive.
Yeah.
I plus agreed with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
It's definitely P says, let's see screen pass to McCoy. Yeah. Yes, please. Let's please get that. Gronk and Brady have to get down and finesse the corner route. Gronk and Brady, I think, in this offense can do whatever the hell they want to do. I mean, they are that good. It's just the timing and execution of everything. Don't force it if it's not there. I kind of said this on Twitter. I mean, we reach into the cookie jar a little too many times. We try and force a deep shot all the damn time when in reality, just set it up with runs first, do some play action. You don't have to always hit the deep shot. The deep shot can just be a decoy every time. I'm not opposed to always having a deep route. It clears the underneath routes out. That's why I really do like BA's system. It's just the way the quarterback reads it and the way the play caller calls it. If you keep calling deep shot, deep shot, deep shot, that should be your first read 3 or 4 times in a row. It's going to fail. You got to have ways to help your quarterback out. It's not just telling him, oh no, this is going to work. That the sequencing is what we talk about a lot. It just, to me, as a play caller, Leftwich doesn't do it that well. And I think it's clear and obvious. And then Paraj P had one more point. He said, let's run same play. Scotty scored deep touchdown and replace with AB. Same exact play, but force the pump fake on the deep dig to make the safety bite and take a shot with AB. What do you think about that?
No, I think that's definitely a possibility. I mean, we saw the play design works. Again, it's about the execution. It's about how they call it, like you say, and it's something, I talk about all the time. It's about how they approach the game, and you have to stay consistent with your approach. Absolutely things change throughout the game. You're going to have to adapt to what the other side is doing because they're going to make adjustments, right? So it's preparing yourself up for not only now but for later, and it's how you sequence that together, and that all plays hand in hand. So that goes with your run game, goes with play action, it goes with your passing down the field, et cetera, et cetera. So
it's the same thing with like individual efforts, like
Mhm.
pass rushers setting up pass moves for later in the game.
Right.
The play caller should be doing that exact same thing, being smart, throwing the same formations out there, thinking, oh, they're going to run this again. But it's a total different play. That's what the stuff we're talking about.
Mhm.
Because teams are looking at us and saying, oh, no, they're going to run this same play.
Yeah.
And we usually do. It's not a hidden anything.
And I think that's where comes the inconsistency of what we see, whether it's slow starts or whether it's slow starts in the third quarter, because teams are making adjustments and they see what we're doing. So, that tends to be our downfall, where we have these spurts where it's like, okay, we're getting nothing. And then all of a sudden we'll find a way to make adjustment ourselves. And then we end up scoring, on that said drive or what have you. So, yeah, those are a lot of things that need to be, cleaned up. And I thought yesterday's game was definitely a step in the right direction. It wasn't the full giant leap that we wanted to see, but I think it's getting closer and closer.
I thought we would have seen at least a little bit more play action, but
We
the
actually
ones we
saw
did were
motion. We saw some motion, which was
that's
nice.
emotion, like
Yeah.
bringing McCoy out, then bringing him back in.
Mhm.
Brait moving across, like the touchdown to Gronk, that was emotion.
Right.
He moved Brait over. He saw the man was going with him. Oh, man defense. He literally looked at Brait's man, hiked it, and threw it this way because he knew Gronk would be wide open on his one-on-one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, little things like that are badass that are so simple to help Brady out. That's the biggest thing that we wanted to see. But this is hilarious, actually. Think about this, Hardcore Hero said. Going from Winston to Brady was pretty big improvement. But going from gay to suck up was probably the biggest improvement we made.
That is the statement of the year right there.
Facts.
That's well said.
Straight
And
facts.
it's a big improvement. I mean, you have a kicker that's 23 of 25 for his kicks. I think he's only missed one extra point, maybe 2 extra points, but yeah, that's rock solid right there.
Absolutely, yeah. People are agreeing 100% there. And then Bud Campbell, and this is something we touched on earlier. The slow starts are still hurting us, and it's true because we can do these comebacks against lesser talented teams, yeah. But a team like the Chiefs, a team like the Saints, a team like the Rams, it's hard to do that, especially with better overall teams that have been together for years. Like, yeah, the Vikings are a coaching staff that have been together for a while, but still, it's you're looking at the lack of talent they have on defense. They're injury riddled, lost star players. I mean, that was a defense we should have scored on multiple times and easy. But a lot of lack of execution is what hurt us. It wasn't really the Vikings beating us. It was just more, oh, we missed it. Yeah, it's a good thing to see a goose egg and turnovers. Yeah, that's great. But I want us to put up points, put up how this offense should. And they're still learning. I know it's the off-season thing, but it is a pain in the ace.
Yeah.
But you want to touch on anything else on offense before? Because someone said over 50% of plays was motion. I don't know about all that.
I mean, there was definitely more motion,
Was it?
which was, I mean, I'm not sure. We didn't have many plays, to be honest. I think they only had like 50 or maybe like 55 plays, for the whole game. So wasn't a lot of offensive snaps or offensive opportunities. But after those first 2 drives, they really got going. Obviously the big pass to Scotty Miller, that was a thing of beauty. Want to see Scotty Miller more involved in the offense for sure, because it seems like him and Tom Brady have a great connection when they are on the same page. So yeah, there was that was a positive, just seeing the motion and the use of third down running. We saw that.
Yeah.
Third down runs was big. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, ran the football, got first downs. Just element of surprise. Everyone knows we're probably going to pass it on 3rd and short, and you finally did some runs, which was good. So hoping that continues. There's a lot of good things. Claire getting in there more. He had a drop that you don't want to see, but
He had a bad block too.
Bad block.
To Rojo that sailed over Rojo.
Yeah.
Terrible block by Auclair. I mentioned it. I was like, no, that wasn't Donovan Smith's fault. I
Yeah.
know people would have jumped on him for that one.
Again, a great example of what play action does. We saw the opening that allowed. I mean, it was wide open. All the linebackers were running back. So yeah, offense overall, I thought again it was a nice step. But again, this is like you said, a weaker opponent. Even though they were in the 7th seed, again, their defensive struggles, and they're also without Eric Kendricks, which was that's a big loss.
It's the heart of their defense.
Right. So just got to hope we continue to improve and be on all cylinders once the playoff starts, because this team will be in the playoffs. I'm pretty confident of that.
Or it's what, 96% chance
Yeah.
that we're in the playoffs right now?
Next week, if you win, it's 100%. So
that ain't bad. That ain't bad. I can tell you that. But some other takes I want to talk about.
Mhm.
Who do you really think got Fournette benched or got McCoy in the active roster? Because you hear after the game, McCoy's like, "Oh, Brady's been calling for my number, like to get me in the game, get me in."
Mhm.
And BA saying, "Oh, you'll get your chance," and then BA comes out saying, "Oh yeah, I put McCoy in there. Good thing he proved me right." I don't know how many weeks we've been saying get, like you say, get 28 out of there.
Mhm.
Who do you think? Who's the real reasoning? I know.
I'm sure.
Brady
I'm
saying
sure.
something.
Yeah, I'm sure Brady had a big influence. I'm hoping it was a collaboration, and they just saw over the bye week that Leonard Fournette's not getting it done. He's missing hole after hole, and he's not. He's missing blocks. He's not catching the football. It was time to change it up, and I'm glad that they did so. LaShawn McCoy is still a very good football player and a guy that can complement Rojo in the right way, and utilize Rojo by running the football with him and then mix it in with McCoy. I think that was great. You could just see like how they played well together. Like McCoy in that one drive, that was awesome to see. Like him getting to the outside, making people miss, doing stuff like that. So, and Rojo does the same thing. It's just they're little different styles and how they run, but it's just fun. It's fun to watch.
His pass blocking was amazing too.
Right.
Sean McCoy's pass blocking, beautiful thing of beauty.
And that's what we needed. And Rojo hopefully learns from that and also gets his opportunities to pass block as well. And then the same thing with like Keyshawn Vaughn. I know he got 4 snaps, but I like that rotation much better than just seeing Fournette in there doing nothing. And they automatically know, if he's in there, he's likely getting the football too. So.
All right, then just before we jump onto the defense, Fournette is talented. It's just, I don't know what they taught him in Jacksonville that made him not see the gaps. I mean, but to be honest, Fournette, he did awesome in Jacksonville. I don't know what's going on here in Tampa where he's just not hitting holes. I mean, he never was that. When we did his player breakdown or player film study, he wasn't a slam into the hole. Like that's what people think of from him from LSU.
Right.
He still wasn't that really. He'd see a hole and then go through it. He didn't just slam into people.
Yeah.
When he gets the steam, then he's hard to bring down. But that first 5 yards, it's like, he's trying to make a decision, and it's
and that's
that.
and that's not even like the main issue I had with him. It's just he was missing gaps. Like there's wide open gaps that he should be running through, and he was hesitating and dancing too much to make something else happen. And by the time he gets the read and gets the right vision, it's too late. The gaps close. I'm not expecting him to be that power back because that's just not who he is. That's not how he plays. He's a finesse back. He's gonna run, and once he gets steam, like you said, he can run you over. But it was just came to a point where he's missing too much opportunity, and then not catching the football, not pass protecting well. That's going to lend to a benching, and that's what he got.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like let's see how long he's in this doghouse. I mean,
right.
McCoy did well. There's no point in taking him out.
Maybe it's injury. Maybe there's something injury, behind the scenes.
No, you never know.
Yeah.
But one other thing, Antonio Brown, very quiet game, but 5 catches, 49 yards. And it was just consistent in yards, consistent route running. I mean, he just did his job. You haven't heard much noise from him. I don't know why people think he's a bad guy. I mean, so far, because people are like, oh, he's taken away from Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
Maybe he is, but it's not like he's running bad routes. I think still it's Tom Brady making the decision. Like, should I throw it here or not? I mean, this game, I was looking at some of his routes, crisp. I mean, every time he's running it, he's running aggressive, he's running hard, he's playing full effort to the whistle. So, I mean, I don't see anything to talk bad about Antonio Brown, and I'm thinking still, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, that's a hell of a damn roster. And just stay healthy. That's all it is.
Right.
Just keep growing. But offensively, yeah, and then Mike Evans' drop, that one drop. But other than that, 3 catches, 56 yards. And people are wanting that 1K. I think someone said he needs 111 yards a game for the next 3 games to get 1,000. Do you think it's possible?
He pretty much needs like one big monster game, where he has has that 200-yard game, and then
could be this week.
It could be. It really could be. Like the matchups really play to his favor. It just depends on the targets and if the plays set up him, the right way. But yeah, I mean, I think he wants wins. I don't think he cares about that, milestone. I mean, it'd be cool, first player 7 straight years with 1,000 yards, but I think wins and playoffs, getting deep into the playoffs, that's what he's focused on.
Yeah, everyone's agreeing about the AB thing. And then I like Danny Danello loves this take. Evans better start out physicaling DBs for the ball before the playoffs because he ain't gonna get these calls come then. I like Godwin. What do you think of that? That's a hot take.
Yeah, I mean, Evans is I think Evans is going to be fine. I'm not concerned with Mike Evans. I mean, he's a really good player, and so is Chris Godwin, and we got a lot of weapons. I mean, so it's just about Brady just making the right reads, and hopefully the play calling is the right sequencing, like we talk about, and help these guys out.
Yeah. All right, so I want to move over to the defense before we talk about their whole assessment. Yeah, the front 4 played amazing all game. It seemed like they were always causing pressure. This is the first reason why I want to pick it up. Buccaneer Bruce said, I noticed on one drive that Devin White loafed the entire time. I haven't questioned his effort before, but he was loafing. So I noticed Devin White, he has never showed lack of effort. I mean, he always is going. He's going a million miles an hour. And this is something we talked about before drafting him, why we kind of didn't want a linebacker top 5 in the draft. It's because it seemed like he was still learning. Like he's a hell of a missile once he's there going. Yeah. But some of the inconsistencies of reading what the play is going to be, or then he runs like a running back trying to find a hole instead of playing his assignment of gap assignment. And I saw a lot of that. I mean, I know they probably told them, be careful with the play action because Cook's so good, be careful. So they were hesitating a lot. But some of the times, I mean, every damn time, middle of the field, if it's 4th and 6, go middle of the field right at Devin White because it's always going to work. Like, to be honest, and I got plenty of tape from this game where it's just his awareness, his spatial awareness of knowing who's on the field, who's in front of him. If there's 3 guys on your right, you should start shading that side. If there's only 1 or 2 guys on that side, why the hell are you going over there? I mean, especially when the Levante David's right next to you. Yeah, there's no point in that. And so some of the stuff, it's odd. And it's more, I don't think it's a lack of effort. I think it's more sometimes he just doesn't know where to be because he'll do this, run forward, then turn around, look for someone because he has no clue where the person's at. That's something where Antoine Winfield is total different. There was a play where he's looking at a wide receiver, looks over at the quarterback, and the quarterback's scrambling, and no one else knows it besides him, and he makes a play. Field awareness, knowing where you're at, what to look at. And I feel like Devin White just doesn't have that, and maybe this offseason affected him there. But we've been showing this all season. It's not like it's something new for us, or hopefully we're showing this all to you guys. But what is your take on this Devin White loafing and him in zone?
Sorry, hold on. I was having an attack because I was laughing so hard at my so I'm like laughing from what you're I'm laughing from what you were saying because it's so true. Like he just has no idea. It's like that Chris Farley gif. He's like, no idea. And that's basically Devin White right now on the field. Like he just has He's just
No idea.
he's just clueless on the field, and it's kind of funny to watch because you know where the football is going to go because he's like you said, he's in the wrong position for most of the game, and it's unfortunate because if he could just figure out where to be at all times, man, this defense would be like stellar because a lot of our deficiencies is because of him, unfortunately. I mean, as many plays as he does make, which yeah, that and then it's the other GIF. It's the other GIF where we're pulling our hair out because we're watching him make the same mistake over and over. So yeah, that and
It's
we
so true.
and we want to do the one that is correct, but we can't.
Yeah. This is Devin White's play on the field, a Chris
Yeah.
Farley gift.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that sums it up.
It's sad, but it also maybe it is this offseason learning thing because like we've seen him read a quarterback's eyes before, but it's almost
Right.
now they know, okay, middle of the field, I'm just gonna look right at him, and he's just gonna sit there because he isn't even the touchdown to Irv Smith.
Right.
He's sitting there, and the tight end just turns around, threw it right to him, easy access.
Yeah.
A zone scheme. He wasn't there. All these fourth downs, I feel like they were attacking Devin White. Something we've continuously shown. I mean, there's nothing to hide on that one, and there's a reason why he has a lot of tackles too. But I mean, Devin White, it's not a lack of effort. I'll say that. I mean, if he was loafing, it was probably more just he was upset about he didn't know where to be.
And they do. I mean, and to his defense, they ask him to do a lot, like a
Absolutely.
lot of responsibility for one guy. And I wish we could just send him in on a blitz every play because he would probably be way more successful. And it'd be interesting to see how our defense would do if we did blitz him on every play. But you know, most of the time you can't do that. Unfortunately, you can't, blitz on all downs, even though Todd Bowles probably wants to blitz,
Yeah.
but yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's true though.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
But that's the thing. So if you're blitzing him, some safety has to come down and cover, or you're putting some fat guy to drop back in his coverage. So do you want to see more Sue dropping back or McClendon or William Golson dropping back? Because someone's got to fill that gap. You just can't blitz everyone.
Yeah.
So Jordan Whitehead, I would rather have drop down and have Antoine Winfield single high.
Right.
But once you get to the playoffs,
it's hard to do.
Yeah, way better teams with way more talent on there.
Yeah. I mean, we saw what we did when we went single high versus the Chiefs off offense. I mean, can't do that all the time.
And that's the scary part. So when we can see this, NFL teams are like, ooh, we got Devin White this week.
Yeah, I mean it's becoming
all night.
It's becoming that weekly. I mean, you see these teams, it just seems like they know who to identify, who to target week in, week out, whether it be the slot corner or whether it be the middle of the field. So but play action doesn't work, guys. I don't know. So
because we got to run the ball consistently.
Yeah. To call consistent play action, we have to run the ball consistently. Yeah.
To put our players in position to win consistently.
Right.
Week in, week out. And week in, week out, we're going to try that. I wish someone could have counted how many times he said week in, week out in that one press conference.
That'd be a great drinking game. God. You'd be drunk in the first 10 minutes.
Be out.
Yeah.
But this that can improve. Hopefully it will improve, but we keep saying that. It's a lot of hoping.
Yeah.
Let's see with this one. Troy Aikman in the commentary in the fourth down said Devin White was a good coverage linebacker and started shaking my head. He also said this is one of the things they always go to with Devin White. One of the best young linebackers in the game. It's true.
Right.
It's good at downhill. No one will doubt that. Him downhill, unstoppable. Like if you're talking point A to point B, he gonna beat you.
Yeah.
He good. He real good.
Ridiculous.
I want to start using him like that.
Yeah, ridiculous grip strength. He's got a Hulk
right? So, I mean, yeah, the times you saw us blitzing like a madhouse, the Broncos, obviously, they're not a good quarterback.
Right.
Like systems where we're trying to force the issue, the Chargers trying to force the issue. You can't do that against Russell Wilson a lot. You can't do that against
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff because it's a quick decision offense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't feed into their systems. So we got to play better. Like, just know your assignment. That's all it is. Another area I want to touch on before, because we already talked enough about Devin White.
Right.
Either way, it could be a little bit of him learning on the go, not enough preseason. I don't know. But that's a part of his game he's going to have to improve. But another area that the Vikings took a huge advantage of, which I've said ever since the Bears game, that short in the flats where that are outside linebackers, which are usually edge rushers.
Yeah.
That they're forced to cover. You have Anthony Nelson covering that. You have Shaq Barrett covering that. You have JPP covering that. You would think, a running back versus that, an athletic tight end versus that, they're going to take that. That's why you saw the fat Ham guy. Is his name Ham?
CJ Ham. Yeah.
CJ Ham?
Yeah.
That's fullback from the old days. He was a ham. They took advantage of it. Yeah. So that's spots where the Vikings look at our defense. They're like, okay, they're aggressive. They're pressing corners. Where's their weakness? Linebackers, and there's edge rushers that like to come in, hit the areas of weakness. Please, our offense, learn from this.
Yeah, it's a lot of spider 2-eye banana against us. I mean, as you see it, I mean, a lot of play action, fullback in the flat. You got the tight end going to the corner route, and it works. It's open. So, yeah, I mean, credit to these offenses. I mean, I'm not sure how we adjust to it. I mean, I guess you play more 4-3 looks, maybe have another linebacker out there, but we'll wait and see. But
I mean, I would do it the way of just blitzing Devin White, bring a safety down, and then find a way to get your corners to run like a cover 3 over top look, especially if we're blitzing Devin White.
Right.
I mean, find ways to kind of shift everyone around. We've done it plenty of times.
Right. Yeah.
You got to be able to move guys around. You can't just stay in a static cover 2, Tampa 2, like the Bucs used to do back in the day and say, "Oh, beat me," because they will.
Yeah.
You got to be able to disguise. Antoine Winfield talked about this during the bye week. So we got to be able to disguise better and then communicate to execute our plan, and that's as simple as it is.
Yeah, but he had a hell of a game.
He did.
I mean, let's talk about him for a little bit. I mean, a rookie that is, I don't know, make the Pro Bowl. I mean, he's playing outstanding. What were you gonna say?
No, I said, "Whoo! Look at that 9 tackles, 1 sack."
Yeah, I mean, he was very impressive, and this is the team that his dad played for in the Vikings, so obviously he was motivated and made a lot of good plays. So very, very happy for him, and just glad he's on our team because he's gonna be a heck of a player.
The first year too, and I love how they were saying like he hasn't had that rookie wall. He didn't hit the rookie wall. I think his head is thinking faster than some of our like year 2, year 3 guys. Like what he's seeing. I mean, you see this every week in tape. I mean, we don't really show the deep, I guess, portion of the defense because it's our run stopping and pressure we're showing. Sometimes we show this, but Winfield he can cover so much space. His click clack, like getting downhill abilities, tremendous. Like the dude can do it all. And some of the hits he had on Cook were insane. He lifted his ass up on sometimes. So yeah, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. I mean, wait until he actually starts reading the ball and manipulating quarterbacks' eyes and doing it to them instead of them doing it to him. That's gonna be crazy. I think he's only scratching the surface.
And
this dude's gonna be good.
Yeah, we saw more Mike Edwards in there.
I like that,
which was good. There's been like things going around with the Jordan Whitehead tweets that have been popping up. I guess apparently he was unhappy with some of the decisions made, but
Ooh, what's this juicy news? Say,
I mean, yeah, apparently he put out a tweet, yesterday after the game. He deleted that tweet very quickly. And then he put some things out today and just saying he's got to keep working and, be better. So, I think he'll be fine. Again, there's going to be a rotation. I like when they do the 3 safety looks, especially when they get Jamel Dean back in there. I think you can, really start going back to some of those different variety looks that they're going to try to play out. And I think Jordan's still a very key part of this defense.
Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah.
You know how. Well, I hope everyone knows how we feel about Jordan Whitehead. I mean, that dude's that inbox safety that you really want close to the line.
Yeah.
I,
But it's also something that we've talked about where we said Mike Edwards and Antoine Winfield are probably the future of this
future.
team at safety because they're just more versatile. I mean, Mike can just do a lot more different things. He can play deeper. He can play in. So that's why he's on the field. You know, Jordan's just a little bit more limited, but he's still a heck of a player, especially in the box, like you were going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jordan Whitehead. I don't know what it was. It kind of spurned him, but stay up, my boy. You're still the starter. I mean,
I'll have to look at.
more.
I don't know if we can bring up the snap counts. I know usually Greg Allman has it. Let me see if I can find it, but I don't think it was that big of a difference. I mean, maybe something went on like internal that he wasn't happy about. So,
I mean, he's going to be the starter no matter what. I mean,
right.
Mike Edwards is not going to overtake you, so don't worry about that. I don't. Maybe it was just a little jab. I don't know. Well, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. If he can't do his duties and so this Buccaneer Bruce. We'll touch on this real quick. If he can't do his duties, a top 5 pick, he was a waste of that pick. That talking about Devin White. I don't think he's a waste. You can't judge a pick after a year and a half just yet. I mean, yes, we're strong on this opinion. He's proven a little bit of this wrong. I mean, I want him to succeed. He's a Buccaneer now. I want him to just start picking balls off, popping them in the air, helping the secondary out. And I think he has it in him because you can see how pissed off he is. He doesn't like making mistakes. Like he's mad at himself and he's yelling, not yelling. He's more talking with Levante, trying to figure out where the hell am I supposed to be. Maybe it's to him just moving a little bit too fast, but I don't know. And then G Vegas, no, I didn't get a new camera. I'm using some new stuff on the settings, I guess. So it should be the same thing, but thank you for noticing. Here's a good little take. I want to hear your opinion on this. BA says the Bucs can play any damn way. Really, BA? Really? If the Vikings place kicker hits his kicks, Bucs might have lost this game. BA trying to connecting your brain to your mouth before speaking. Danny with some emotion.
That's a good comment. I mean, to one point, he's right. The Bucs can play any damn way if they execute and you know players and the design and the play calling all works together. Yeah, they can play different styles, but I don't know. I'm still hesitant on that comment because we haven't seen it consistently yet. So, still a team that hasn't played 60 minutes of football, and we're waiting on that. So once I see that, then you know I can say confidently we can play anyway.
Oh, here's your snap count.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, 70%. I mean,
right there.
I guess a drop. You know, he doesn't like the 30% being off the field.
Why not just get some wind? I mean, I know we got Winfield in there the whole game, but I mean, if you're playing in the box, you're trying to have to prevent runs. I mean, they were running a lot. I mean, you're smaller in stature. They want you healthy and fresh when you're in the box. You're a smaller dude. So, I mean, I think it's more them trying to keep them fresh, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, Edwards only played 23 snaps. So,
yeah.
What's the big rah-rah? Maybe they had bigger guys in. Maybe they had more run stuffing guys in. I know Minter was in there a couple plays.
Yeah. But, shout out to the bottom, the player at the bottom of that list. Well, second to bottom, Pat O'Connor. Yeah. His 22 snaps was, I mean, that was legit, like really good. Yeah, really good.
Miles and miles of heart.
Lots of heart. I mean, played really well. So
a lot of the guys in the bottom of this list. I mean, Nunez, Lopez, Nelson, Edwards, Cockrell.
All had good games. Yeah.
Right? I mean, the bottom of the list needs to play just as well as the top of the list. They need to make the big plays. These guys just need to do their job. Cockrell, you didn't hear him like in the Panthers game where he just got run the hell over on that touchdown. Ever since then, he hasn't made many mistakes. He's been playing pretty damn good. So give him his credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of the stuff, I see a lot of positives. But the glaring weaknesses, I think teams are really starting to pick at them now. I mean, the Bucs can't keep starting this slow because people will keep gouging at those little weaknesses. Because I mean, especially when you get into deep playoff run, if you get into the playoffs, let's not just make it 100% just yet, but it's pretty much there. I mean, oh wait, someone started over there, and this man stepped up big. Big girl Sue stepped up big.
Yeah, Sue's had a great year. I mean, he could have 4 or 5 sacks yesterday. Just missed them, So he's been playing really well. And like you said, to your earlier point, there's a lot of good things. Yeah, the teams are finding our weaknesses. So I think it's really important for the defensive line to continue to step up and have big games going forward. They're going to have to be smart in how they use their front four and their blitz packages with their pass rush games. We saw some things of that yesterday where they did some stunts with Barrett. They did a lot of different things of moving JPP inside, Barrett inside, like you were pointing out.
Right.
So those are things that they're going to have to continue to do. I hope to see Khalil Davis back in there. I wish he would have got in there, yesterday, but Pat O'Connor, made up for it. So, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. They got to continue to push that pocket. That's going to be the big thing.
Yeah, that just the 4-man rush was insane.
Right.
Insane. I mean, let's touch on that. Yeah, I showed
that's
that.
The level it's got to be at. Yeah,
absolutely. And I like how they put in those energy type guys, Pat O'Connor, Nunez Roches, even McClendon. Steve McClendon was madhouse in the middle. Will Golson literally running that Bradbury back into the quarterback, like driving them back. Right. I think they're just like, you know what, just go. Just attack. The linebackers will help you behind you, especially with the speed they got. If it's a run, okay, but just clog holes, do your thing. I mean, it showed. Anthony Nelson had a lot of good rushes too, and he got really close on a lot of occasions. I'm surprised Nunez Roches didn't get a sack either. I mean, we had 6 sacks. That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, as they should do. And to be the negative Nancy here, it was against a bad offensive line. So sorry to burst the bubble, but
how do I hit remove from the chat?
We got to see it, is what I'm saying, against a good offensive line. That would be the playoff teams that we're going to face, So I'm just hoping they can continue to build momentum and then really, just turn it on when playoffs come, because you're facing a Rams offensive line or a Saints offensive line, Packers, et cetera. They have good offensive lines, and we have to be able to dominate those if we want to move forward.
Yeah. I mean, the big guys that need to play well are playing well, though. I mean, JPP, right. Shaq Barrett, Sue, those 3 are playing pretty damn well.
Right.
I mean,
and they're going to be the key.
But Sue's been doing this all year. This isn't like, oh, he just had one good game. He's been doing it. And so people were asking about how many points did Bailey cost him? 10 points, yeah. The one missed field goal, missed extra point, and 3 kicks.
Right.
But either way, we still would have won 26-24. Would have been closer, yeah. Or momentum. Either way, wins or win. G Vegas said, is it concerning that Evans and Brady still are not on the same page? Let's I guess start touching on some of these points here.
Yeah, I mean it's a concern, but I mean I feel like the connection is getting better. Still made good plays yesterday, but you like to see it more crisp. Going forward, but I feel like it's improving, especially in the red zone. I think they're automatic.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the volume of throws that go his way. With Brady, it's more he throws to the open guy of what he sees in the defense. So you can't compare what Winston and Evans had compared to Brady and Evans. I mean, he's not going to look him. I don't know why he did it on that one play where he double pumped to him twice.
Right.
Considering the whole other side of the field.
It felt like his whole idea was get Godwin wide open as much as he could and then make that throw, but he just missed it completely. I mean, because Godwin would have scored. I mean, he was wide open. Because both guys went with Scotty Miller, so he would have scored on that play.
Like when I was looking at it, I was thinking what those players were thinking, like, oh, Scotty's wide the hell open. So they both turned around. No one was even looking underneath.
Right.
After that, they're like, oh, he's throwing Scotty. It's done.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just it. Like we show all this stuff. The offense has the opportunities. It's just the execution. That's the lack of execution. And then when you're calling some of these plays, the sequencing, BL.
That's my biggest bugaboo. It's like, just the sequencing, how you flow it together. And that's really where the inconsistencies, the stall drives, that's why it happens, because you're putting yourself in situations that you shouldn't be in. You're setting up second and long, third and longs, and they didn't do that yesterday. So that was nice to see.
Well, let's get to a couple more questions here. Danny Danilo, he's loaded with some takes today. The Bucs D was getting gashed for a lot of big plays consistently. Time of possession was 40-20 advantages for the Vikings, but all you hear is how great the Bucs D is. I don't necessarily hear that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, obviously we've been pointing out their struggles lately, and they haven't been great at all. There's been bad play. That's no denying that. They didn't allow the big play yesterday, I don't think. I mean, they held everyone, they held guys in check, under 15-yard catches. So, it's just execution.
Yeah, it's the underneath stuff is what's kind of beating us, and that's what we've been kind of beating a dead horse over here about.
Right. Teams are getting long drives. I mean, they're converting and they're getting long drives, and then it's up to us whether we hold them to a field goal or not. And you got to say that's a positive, because we did hold them to field goals and they missed. So it's like, that's 4 turnovers right there. So, I mean, you look at it that way.
Yeah, those are wins for the defense.
Right.
I mean, to me, over the top, our secondary deep did amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was even the play we put in the preview, if you guys saw it, where Justin Jefferson would fake the slant route, immediately stop, pull back out, and just go straight towards the post or the corner.
Right.
SMB did his homework. He saw it, he read it, he didn't bite on the slant, and he took it away, and Cousins had to throw the ball away.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that, I love seeing. Our secondary is learning, is reading. That linebackers, the underneath, they got to get better. And is it going to get better? I don't know. But if it isn't, you got to find ways to move people around, move pieces around. That's Bowles' job to do. He usually does it throughout the game. He gets better with it. I think he sometimes just runs with what he brings a little bit too much.
Right. Yeah.
So A. Turner from Twitter says, I would like to see more crossing short routes with Scotty Miller. So would I, brother.
I would love that too. Yeah.
Definitely. So would I. I mean, they did do some with AB. I did see that, which was good. I want to see more, especially if it's running underneath where you sent a man deep. Just did a fly, just run him underneath that. That'd be a thing of beauty.
Right.
Open space, right? That's what we're all about, protecting space. G Vegas said Bucs D was good on third down yesterday. Those key sacks and third downs, we're good to push the field goal range back. Yeah. All good points, my man.
Yeah. They had multiple drives where they had back-to-back sacks, which was very important, And like I said earlier in the podcast, they made plays when they had to make them, and that's something that has been missing. That JPP sack / interception, whatever you want to call it. That was a huge play. That was a huge play of the game. That pretty much won the game, and that's why he gets paid $14 million a year or whatever it is, 12.5.
And that's something that it's simple to say, harder to do. So if you win the early downs, like stop the run early, which we do consistently, this game we didn't do the best at.
Well, Dalvin Cook is Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
And we contained him. Yeah.
So, but the thing is, if you stop it early, first down, you make it a second and long, you only give up 3 or 4 on a dink pass. That third and long, then your D line can eat. But if it's second and 3, third and 2,
right,
short down and distances, you can't really send in everyone.
No.
I mean, it's a lot different from what a defensive standpoint you can do third and long as opposed to third and 2. Because you got to think, it could be a run. If I run past this, he's going to be right up in a hole that I missed. So early on, we do that. It's just consistently doing it, and then shoring up some of these gaps that we have on defense, which is usually linebackers and short flats. That secondary deep is looking pretty damn good.
Yeah.
A.T. Turner said the corners need to do more jamming at the line. That would help out producing sacks. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. I'm all for disrupt timing. That's very important. when you're playing defense. You got to disrupt the timing of the offense. And that starts with penetration from your front four, starts with, your coverage being in sync with your rush, package. So those are a lot of things that I think the Bucs do pretty good job of at times. But yeah, there could be more consistent at it. But this team is producing a very good sack rate this season. I mean, I think they're on pace for over 50 sacks. They're doing a great job of pressuring the quarterback. So yeah, you would like to see it just consistent all the way throughout the whole game, but it's not going to be that way. It's about getting the key sacks and making the key plays at the right time, and they did that yesterday. So again, it's a good day for Bucs fans. I mean, 8-5, we're in a good spot in the playoffs. Got to be happy about it.
Let's take a step back. Think about that. 8-5.
Right. We
That's
haven't had that
insane.
a lot. We haven't
Right?
had that at all. I mean, last time it was 2016. Again, different circumstances. We're getting ready to play the Cowboys, who were good at the time, and then you had the Saints the following week, and then I think Carolina to close the season. So different stretch we have this year, with the Falcons twice and Detroit mixed in there. So, and again, different team. Yeah, different quarterback, all that jazz, and
Jazz.
yeah. But it feels good to be 8-5. I mean, we just haven't been able to say that, and we're actually in the playoffs as it stands today. So I don't think that was the case the last time we were 8-5. So it just feels good.
We're not chasing anyone. We're holding our own destiny right now.
Right. Yeah. We control our destiny.
Hell, the Saints could just fold right now. I mean, it's all Taysom Hill.
It's a possibility. I mean, they got the Chiefs. They got the Chiefs, and then they got the Vikings, who are going to be fighting for their lives, trying to get into the playoffs. So, and then they have Carolina, who, still wants to finish strong and play spoiler. So, yeah, very possibility. It's a strong one.
Yeah. You never know. You never know.
You don't.
Yeah. But Andrew, good take here. Bucs seem to have a solid game plan to take away Jefferson and Thielen and force Cook and the tight ends to beat them.
Right. Yeah, they did that. I mean, I mean, Jefferson made some solid plays, but they pretty much took away both of those guys. And I think the tight end was their leading receiver. So, I thought they did a good job.
Oh, but the outside did a good job. The outside corners did a good job. I mean, SMB, I kind of touched on it, did do a good job of reading Jefferson. I mean, he's not the biggest physically imposing player by any means. He's just a great route runner. I mean, just the Carlton Davis play where it was like a 3rd and 15, threw it right to his hands, and Davis comes from behind, knocks that thing down. So they played pretty damn good. I mean, give them their credit. Let's keep going down. A couple more. What's this one? Chiefs beat us with big plays. The Bucs took away that in this game. Granted, Cousins isn't Mahomes, but even versus KC, our red zone D was solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's a good point.
I like it, Andrew. Keep bringing takes like that. And he's right. I mean, our deep coverage, like I touched on it, the deep secondary did very, very well. The safeties, moving secondary, corners, working with the safeties, did very, very good. I mean, you can't get mad about not giving up a 40, 50, 75-yard play.
Right.
Because, I forgot Tyreek Hill's the fastest player in the game. I mean, maybe they took that and took offense to it. And they're like, okay, if we're going to get beat, it's going to be under, and you have to beat us with consecutive plays of execution. So that's a lot harder. Look at the Bucs.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of defenses take that approach. I mean, you see it around the league. It's, the thinking is offenses are usually going to make a mistake here somewhere, along the line. So make them drive down the field and see if they can actually score once they get in the red zone. And, sometimes it's tough to play. And we did that we tried it against the Saints, but not in the right way. There wasn't the right way to play it. We were too soft, and, you have to have some aggression. I thought we showed that, especially when it mattered.
I want to see us blitz a little bit more, though, to be honest. I know we did well in.
Well, I was just saying, like the timing of the blitz was a lot better, a lot better. And it wasn't in the Saints game, obviously, because it failed. So, I'm just saying, I agree with you. I think I would like to be aggressive more, but it's all about how you time it, how you, again, sequence, right?
Yeah.
It's the flow.
When you throw those sacks, not just every damn down.
Yeah.
Deep shot every damn down either.
Right.
But you did see blitzes from Carlton Davis, Winfield, multiple times.
Right.
Ross Cockrell blitz multiple times. And so you did see it from different arrays. So I mean, no, then I can't get mad. He did blitz a lot. It just didn't come from Devin White, which I kind of wish he would have said a little bit more, considering what he does in coverage.
Right.
Here's a good question for you, Plus. How would you guys rate Tom Brady this season?
I think Tom's been again steady. Tom is playing. He's playing really good. I mean, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He's got a high completion percentage. Doesn't take a lot of sacks. I think he's playing good. Again, there's missed opportunities, here and there that we talked about. But I think he's putting the team. He's helping the team win, and that's what a quarterback needs to do. And I think he's done that.
Not hurting the team as much.
Right. Not hurting the team.
So, and this brings us to this point, which is a good take from Danny. He says, I hope the fans and coaches don't get overconfident after winning the next 2 or 3 games. Evaluate the Bucs play on a consistent level. What do your eyes tell you? Very good point. That's why we kind of tell you, even if there's a win, we show you and tell you where we see glaring holes. And that's why I say, yeah, the Vikings were smart. They attacked a lot of our weaknesses, yet still only managed 14 points. Yes. 10 points missed, field goals. Yeah. Either way, they did do some plays that executed perfectly towards our weaknesses, and they still couldn't really manhandle us. We came up big when they had to. Does that mean the Bucs are best team in the NFC? No. It just means they got to win. They're going to have to go back and look and fix these areas. I mean, we see it. We show you every week. So I agree with him. I see it. Yes, we do need to get some confidence in this team and work on execution. I don't want to see us feel bad for anyone. If we can run up the score, I want you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to practice your consistency right now.
Yeah. And going back to the Brady question, I think he's got to take it up to another level. Yeah. I mean, I think he's been good for most of the year, but he's had bad moments. I mean, he's had, bad games too, just looking at a recent losing streak or the losses, 3 out of 4, what have you. The Saints, he didn't have a good game. Against the Rams, didn't have a good game. Same thing against the Chiefs. So there's just there's inconsistent spurts. And I guess that goes in total with the whole offense. So, they got to take it up to another level as we go forward here, if they want to do anything.
Yeah. So this is also applying to, I guess, the Tom Brady. People are saying grades like B+, B. I'll say a B+ as of now. I'm going to say an A because no, I can't give him an A. I'm going to say B+ because he's learning on the go. There's a whole new offense for him, and he's putting up numbers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, someone do y'all think Jameis 5K Winston would have done a better job this year? I don't think so. I think Tom Brady's getting us in position to be in every game. Besides the Saints game, he's put us in position. We're right there. It didn't hurt us. We didn't have to fly from behind every damn game. Right. We've been right there. Call it. It's Tom Brady. I mean, it's not coughing the ball up 7 times in one game. It's not throwing 5 interceptions. It's not. Yes, he has 2 pick sixes in the season. But ever since, when was the last one? The Chargers game?
I think so. I want to say there was one more recently, if I'm not mistaken.
But it was a close one. The Rams guy ran it pretty close, but I don't think he took it all the way. Okay. But either way, I mean, I think he's gotten better gradually. Yes, his deep ball looked beautiful yesterday. I mean, there's some passes where when he knew where he had to go, he hit it perfectly. It was more for some reason these little inaccurate passes like to Rojo, Godwin, those little things, and I think that'll get cleaned up. I mean, the BA or not BA, I don't know why I said BA. The Gronk touchdown, he threw that on the move. It was a perfect pass. So
zoomed in there.
It's not like he can't throw on the run. He can. I mean, remember the LaShawn McCoy should have been best touchdown of the year?
Oh yeah.
Earlier in the season, that was amazing.
Yeah,
like that was on the move, perfect to the back of the end zone. The dude, I think he's only scratching the surface. I mean, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 12 interceptions?
Yeah, 30 and 11 right now. So, I mean, he's on pace he's going to break the Buccaneers record, which was set last year for 33 touchdowns. He's going to get probably 35 or what have you. I mean, he might get more. Who knows?
I mean, hell, I hope he gets three a game.
Yeah.
Ty
Usually,
Jameis this year or this week.
yeah. Usually when he does, we're usually going to win.
It's very possible against the defense he's going to be facing. So
Right.
let's be honest.
Mhm.
Where was it? Here it is. No, I got to find this. It was a good point. I lost it. But it was more, here it is. Coaching staff needs to focus on player strengths, not the schemes. Hey, Turner, I know what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I've said it plenty of times. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, nope.
Just don't think it's going to happen. Defensively, possibly. I think we may rush Devin White a little bit more.
Mhm.
But offensively, there's no faith in that at all. Do I have?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen glimpses of it, but it's been against bad teams that we can take advantage of, and that's what we've done. We did yesterday. Running the ball with Rojo, being able to establish that or get it going and use the play action, and there's motion. So we've seen glimpses of it on offense. I think defensively we've seen it more because I think they use guys to their strengths better on the defensive side of the ball, but still not there. Hoping for a miracle to happen and we see it more consistently, but hey, just got to enjoy the win. Winning is winning, and we did that yesterday.
We did that very well yesterday. I mean,
Yep.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I was busy as hell at work today, and I was so happy. Stress free. I was like, "Oh, what do you want? Oh, you want a massage? Someone else can give you that."
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, I'm one of those guys that if the Bucs win, my week is great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great week. I mean, we got more content coming out later this week.
Oh,
It's gonna
hell
be
yeah.
awesome breaking this game down, and then we previewing, the Dirty Falcons, which is gonna be fun. So, yeah, it's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, well, other than that, guys, I know you guys got a lot of questions coming in, but I think we're going to call it at the hour. But other than that, guys, thank you for showing up, bringing so many questions. The guys that came in from Twitter and YouTube. I mean, yeah, we're trying to do this little multi-stream thing working. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. You guys literally make the show. We always say this all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're going to bring out so much content, like Plus was saying. We're going to try and keep pushing it. The previews are going to keep coming out. And then hopefully make a deep playoff run, have hell of a good film studies for those. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for showing up. With that said, as always, go Bucs.
Go Bucs. Thank you guys. Have a good night.